I didn't sign up for this.
Hey, stop crying. Hi everyone, I'm Ike Eveland, a virtual novelist from NijisanjiEN and part of LUXIEM. Thank you so much for coming to my debut. Let's get a little bit familiar with each other, shall we? Let's see if we can get this to work properly. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see if we can move this here. There we go. So, here we are, as I stated earlier. Hi, I'm Mike. I'm a novelist. Recently, also a convicted prisoner of Twitter jail, but that's besides the point. But yeah, a little history about the novelist part. You see, when I was younger, I got introduced to the wonderful world of stories. Just the concept of being swept away on adventures and visiting different worlds and getting to meet wondrous characters through the imagination of an author who might have penned a story was just fascinating to me. Thus, I decided that I was going to share with the world and sort of give back for all those wondrous experiences I've been given throughout the years. But now that I've found myself in quite a different place, I have discovered a different way of sharing experiences with the world besides the written word, namely live streaming. So, from now on, I'm planning on sharing all these new experiences with you all, be it games with captivating stories and worlds, fun gameplay, or mechanics that designed specifically so you want to crack your keyboard in half. Of course, I don't intend on limiting myself to just games, as I'm quite a big fan of movies and music as well. But we'll save that for a bit later. Let's move on to age. So, regarding this, I tried very hard to convert my age into a format that would be understood in this time, but it ended up being way too difficult, so I just sort of gave up on it. But yeah, you know, differences in time when you're swept away to a different time period entirely can be a little bit of a hassle to work out with your brain. Oh, but even though I wasn't able to convert my age, I was able to narrow down how my birthday would translate into this time, and that date in question would be June 12th, so mark it down in your calendars, and hopefully we'll be able to celebrate it together. As for my height, I stand at a respectable 173 centimeters, and by the way, that's without the shoes, by the way. And last on this slide, but certainly not least, is my wonderful mama, TCB-san. They are an incredible artist, and I'm so honored to have been given such a wonderful body from them. So be sure to check out their amazing works. Thank you, mama. Hontou ni arigatou gozaimasu. For my color code, as you can see, it's right there on the screen. It is a very pretty shade of blue, as you can probably imagine. Much like my stream layout, which, by the way, I made myself, so forgive me if it's rather simplistic, as graphic design is not a passion of mine. For the languages, languages are something that it's very interesting to me. I mean, I'm pretty rubbish at speaking any language, basically, but interesting nonetheless. For the languages that I hold any actual proficiency in, we have English, obviously. I don't think I need to dwell too much on that since it's pretty self-explanatory. And then, I like to try my hand at Japanese sometimes. 能力はあんまり高くないけど、日本語もちょっと話せますよ。実は、高校の頃に日本語の講座参加しましたけど、残念ですが、卒業の後で勉強続けなかったので、日本語の能力はだんだん下手になりました。だから、もしおかしいことが言ったり、文法が間違ったり、発音も間違ったり、本当にすみませんです。それにしても、皆さんと仲良くしてほしいので、ぜひ日本語でコメントも喜んでしてくださいね。それでは、よろしくお願いします。And lastly, we have Swedish. Ja, och så har vi svenska. Jag kommer förmodligen inte prata så mycket svenska i mina streams eftersom det heter ju trots allt NijisanjiEN och EN står ju såklart för engelska. Men om det finns några svenskar i chatten och ni känner att ni verkligen vill säga hej på deras modersmål så är ni jättevälkomna att göra det lite då och då. Men stora bokstäver på då och då eftersom jag vet hur duktiga ni är på engelska. Så försök hålla er till det så ofta som möjligt. Men lite svenska här och där skadar inte. And there, I think that should be enough of me embarrassing myself with butchering different languages. So let's move along, shall we? Alrighty. Likes, dislikes, and hobbies, and to no one's surprise, I love captivating stories in all its forms. I find myself being particularly drawn to stories that have one or more of certain characteristics. Off the top of my head, those would be slice of life, romance, horror, and one specific to video games, utsuge. For those who don't know what utsuge is, it's short for utsugame, literally depression game in Japanese. There are varying opinions on what classifies as an utsuge, but to me personally, it's a game that just makes you feel like absolute crap. As the story unfolds, you find yourself loving every second of it because it's just so well done. And then we have junk food. I know it's bad for you, but I can't help it. I really love bacon cheeseburgers. I'm actually craving one right now because I haven't eaten and I'm very hungry. Anyways, then we have music, and I love music so much. I'll keep myself from going on a tangent because if I did that, I wouldn't be here the entire day. But yeah, I love music in pretty much every genre with a few notable exceptions, but I digress. Then we have wholesome things. Art, cute animals, tete, you name it. If it's wholesome, I'm there for it. Now for the caviar toast one, I always get weird looks for this one, but I assure you it's not as weird as it sounds. It's not some sort of expensive, fancy caviar that you find at a restaurant. It's like an orangish paste in a tube that you buy at the supermarket for like $3, but it tastes amazing on a sandwich, especially toast. Don't knock it till you tried it, okay? Then we have visual novels, soft drinks, and horror movies. Just things I enjoy in general. I used to have a really bad energy drink addiction, but they stopped selling my favorite kind. So I was kind of forced to stop due to circumstance, and now I just drink a ton of Coke instead. Just ask the rest of LUXIEM, they'll confirm it for you. For hobbies, I think figure collecting is a lot of fun, but I've had to chill on it as of late because it was getting kind of pricey. It's just really hard to resist when a beautiful figurine gets announced that you just really want to get your hands on, you know? Language learning is also a lot of fun, even though I'm terrible at it. Songwriting and music production are also fairly big hobbies of mine, but again, I'll have to refrain on going too much of a tangent since we don't have too much time to stream. We will be here for eons otherwise, but I can say that the music that you heard during the opening lore sequence was written by yours truly, me. Lastly, we have YouTube binging. I think we've all been there. You start out listening to a song you like or something, and then your recommended video catches your eye, and 5 hours later you're watching a video about how the moon is a holographic projection. You know, it happens. For dislikes, it's really not a whole lot that I dislike. So what you see is pretty self-explanatory. Although software crashes made it on there simply for the amount of trouble various programs, who I will not mention, gave me preparing all the stuff for debut, as I did all the motion design for the lore sequence, and the program wasn't very kind to me during that time, but I digress. The first of my goals would be to introduce more people to the wonderful world of Nijisanji. I would also like to share many new experiences with the viewers, because I'm very big on sharing experiences, as you might have already guessed. I also want to try out the Soulsborne series, because I have never played a single game from that series, be it Dark Souls, Sekiro, or Bloodborne, but they seem very intimidating, but I'm also very, very curious. Reach 100,000 subscribers and get better at Japanese, even because, as you heard earlier, I have a lot to work on. Write cool original songs and cover arrangements, because, you know, either for myself or the other livers in Nijisanji, because, you know, I like making music. I want to get better at singing live, because that's not something I'm very confident in, especially under pressure, or like nervous, like I am right now. I want to partake in lots of chaos with LUXIEM, the rest of EN, and all of Nijisanji. Perform at a live 3D show, because, you know, big goals are, you should aim for the stars, you know? And this one is a big one, but I want to try getting invited as a convention guest. Let me dream, okay? I really, really want to, like, just I've seen people be on stages and interacting with fans directly, and it just seems so exciting. I want to be part of that one day. Okay, let's start wrapping this up before we drag on for too long.